In this video, I'll be sharing 10 things you should not do as a survivor. Number 1. You should not use perks that go poorly together. Here, I whipped up a little quiz for you guys. I'm going to show you 3 perk loadouts, and I want you to see if you can figure out which perks don't go well with the others. So the issue with loadout number 1 is that there are too many overlapping perks. Bond, Kindred, and Aftercare all provide very similar benefits, so you're not going to get much value out of running all 3. The problem with loadout number 2 is that I have 2 conflicting perks. Balance Landing and Sprint Burst are both exhaustion perks, and share the same cooldown, so it doesn't make sense to have both of them. And the issue with the third loadout is that one of the perks completely negates the other. No Mither prevents survivors from healing, so self-care would wind up being useless. But the biggest issue with all these loadouts is that none of them have Spine Chill. Now the second thing you shouldn't do is bring a flashlight when you see multiple teammates have them. Survivors who take flashlights into the match tend to play aggressively. While this is a perfectly legitimate playstyle, it makes it difficult to get any generators done when every survivor wants to play this way. So it's often a better idea to equip a different item instead, and adjust your playstyle to compensate for the lack of generator time your teammates will be getting. The third thing you shouldn't do is wear flashy cosmetics. Take this Claudette's outfit for instance. It turns her into a walking disco ball that the killer can spot from a mile away, and not to mention, a complete tramp. She'll be one of the first survivors to die in all her matches, I can tell you that, from experience. It's not just her outfit though. There are plenty of others that make survivors appear glaringly obvious. So if you want to stay hard to track, keep your color scheme black. The fourth thing you shouldn't do is drop pallets before it's necessary. I can't tell you how many times I've run into survivors who do this. They wind up consuming all the pallets on the map in a very short time, and sabotage their teammates when they get into chases. Players should instead use tactics like stealth, jukes, windows, and lockers before relying on pallets. The fifth thing you shouldn't do is get yourself cornered. This happens a lot when survivors drop a pallet and find themselves on the side facing the map's boundary. In situations like these, it's very easy for the killer to cut off the survivor since their escape routes are limited. So before you drop the pallet, consider what position you're going to put yourself in after the killer has broken it. The sixth thing you shouldn't do is act predictably. While there are certain gameplay elements in Dead by Daylight that have you performing the same actions over and over, there are also situations where acting predictably can get you killed very quickly. Certain loops can be shut down in seconds if the survivor runs them the way the killer expects. And killers like Huntress, Nurse, and Spirit make quick work of survivors whose movements are easy to read. So always keep the killer guessing about what your next move is. The seventh thing you shouldn't do is repair corner generators first. Fixing these generators at the beginning of the game can wind up making the killer's patrol route easier, and in some cases, result in a triple generator setup that makes it almost impossible to win. It's a better idea to focus on knocking out generators closer to the center of the map, since this will increase the distance the killer has to travel to patrol the remaining generators. The eighth thing you shouldn't do is run while hugging walls. Unlike scratch marks left on the ground, marks left on walls can't be obscured by grass, and can easily be seen from a distance. They also appear quite obvious on trees and other objects, so keep a healthy distance from them while running, or walk until you pass them. The ninth thing you shouldn't do is feel afraid of getting into chases. While you should try to avoid dying, avoiding chases results in your teammates being focused more, and increases their chances of getting hooked multiple times. Ideally, you want to be tagging in and out of chases with your team, so that everyone gets a turn on the hook, but nobody dies from it. Additionally, getting hooked gives your team extra time to heal and complete generators, so being chased and even being caught can help your team out more than just being stealthy all game. And the final thing you shouldn't do is immediately open the exit gate. Oftentimes, the killer will either be chasing a survivor or have one on the hook when the gates are opened, and the countdown can put unnecessary pressure on your team. While saving one survivor isn't usually a problem with the amount of time you're given, if the killer winds up downing another one in the process, you'll start to notice you're running out of time, and may have to abandon them before the collapse triggers. So keep the gates at 99% until you're sure everyone can escape. That way, your games end up looking more like this than like this. So thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for future content.